Okay, hello everybody, this is Big Bang Crypto. My name is Sam and welcome to another episode. Now, something that a lot of people are talking about right now is this double bottom formation, all right? And they think that after this upwards movement and this retest of this price level, there is a 97% probability that Bitcoin will move up to $15,000, $16,000. Now, I'm not saying this is impossible, but the most likely scenario for me is coming down. I see a trend reversal, a very clear trend reversal. I see a bear flag, and I know that most people are focusing on this bull flag or continuation pennant, this upwards movement, this double bottom, and once again, the majority will miss the right point to sell. All right. I mean, we sold up there because we knew what is going on, but they will sell when it's too late and they will buy in when it's too late. Now, let's say this could happen. It will move upwards. What I want to see is that Bitcoin finds support on this yellow main trend line of the rising channel, like it found support at that point and at that point. So this happened in the last hours, and you can see how perfectly this line is working. And yeah, so this is the only way for me to say, all right, maybe something like this happened, but very important is this yellow line, because this is something that this is a line that started in 2017 from the highest point of the last wave, so at $20,000, and it came down and it played a big role at that point and also at that point. So we came a little bit above it, but we crashed like crazy. We found resistance. And if we should come down, then I think $12,800, this is it. And then we will come down. But like I said, we need to see real support, confirmation that it starts to move upwards. Then I say, okay, maybe there is a chance. But this line could also play a big role, because as you can see, it played a big resistance. Now, as you can see, we have a bear flag formation, and when we take the height of it, so we have a nice flagpole, we have a tight flag, and yeah, when we take the height of it, then we could come down to this purple box. And this makes a lot of sense to me, because when we go to the daily chart, as you can see, the daily exponential ribbon is around this green line, the neckline of the head and shoulders reversal that I've been talking so much about, saying that this will bring us all the way up to the point where we topped out. And yeah, that played out. As soon as we crossed that line, we came all the way up, so very important. And I think this will be a big support level on the way down, as well as this ribbon. So it makes sense to me that we come down to $10,800 when we cross this main trend line, and we will see support on this line, and then we will have a second drop below the daily exponential ribbon, because this happens every time with the full body of the candles below this daily exponential ribbon. Now, I want to show you something that I found, and I think it is really, really interesting and helpful for the next hours and days. And to understand what I'm talking about, we have to go all the way back with the DeLorean to the year 2012. All right. So, what is important? Now, first of all, after the third test, what you can see is we have this drop, and we find support on the 38% fib level. All right. And as soon as we cross this support level, like there or there or there, we see major drops. And this one is the drop that brings us below the daily exponential ribbon. And after that, we start to move up again. Now, something else that is important is this yellow line, all right? This yellow line starts on the left edge of this valley that we always have when we're in a bear market or at the end of a bear market. Man, I mean, you can see the information is incomplete, but it starts around the edge, the left edge of this valley. It touches the right edge, and then it is kind of support for this two drops. It is also support when we are below the daily exponential ribbon. So this is very important, and it leads us to the second wave, right? Now, this is the second wave. As you can see, we find support inside of this red box. This is the 23% level. I hope you can see it. The 23% fib level. And as soon as we cross this level, we have big drops like this one. All right? And this brings us below the daily exponential ribbon with the full body of the candles. And we also have this yellow line that starts at the beginning of this wave, and then it is support when we come down for the third test of this, or when we have the third low inside of the falling channel, and it leads us, or it is support when we fall below the daily exponential ribbon, and it leads us to the next wave. So there we have the third wave. Okay, so, and once again, what you can see is after the third test, we come down, we find support on the 38. As soon as we cross this support level, we see a big drop, but we're not with the full bodies below the daily exponential ribbon. So we start to move inside of this ribbon, and as soon as we cross this 50% level, we are below the daily exponential ribbon. And yeah, I didn't make this line, but as you can see, once again, we have kind of support line starting at the beginning of this wave, and it seems to be a recurring similarity. Now we have the fourth wave, and what is important right now is, as you can see, we have a yellow line starting at the beginning of this fourth wave. Now, you can take this line, and what you can see is that this line is very close to the left edge of this valley at the end of the bear market. It is also the point where we find resistance when we have this right edge of the valley. And once again, this line, the same line, plays a role, a big role for this first wave. Now, as you can see, we fell below this yellow line and we found big resistance, all right? And when we came down again, this was the point where we found big support when we were below the daily exponential ribbon with the full bodies of the candle. And something else that you can see is after the third test, we find support inside of this red box. The 23% fib level is a big support, and as soon as we cross it, we have a major drop below the daily exponential ribbon, and this yellow line leads us to the next wave. So recurring similarity is very important to understand what is going on right now. Now, once again, as you can see, we come up, we find support inside of this yellow channel for some days. As soon as we cross it, we have a big drop below the daily exponential ribbon, and then we start to move to the next wave. And I mean, we can try to make a line again. I don't know if this is if this always works, but it works for the first waves. But yeah, I think you can see that this is playing a role. All right. And now the third wave, and yeah, so what you can see is after the third test, we find support inside of this red box. As soon as we cross this support, we have a big drop. We fall below the daily exponential ribbon with the full body, so this is important. And yeah, coming down to this level, and I mean, when we could try to see if there's also a line. Oh yeah, there's a line. Crazy, huh? Isn't it crazy? No, it is not. It is a recurring similarity, and this helps us to understand what's going on right now. And yeah, so these lines are playing a big role for this correction below the daily exponential ribbon. And now this is the fourth wave of the last bull market. And now let's see if the same thing is working out again. So this yellow line starts at the beginning of the fourth wave. All right, it moves all the way to the left edge of our valley. It is the resistance level, and it is the support level for our third low, even for the next one that was a little bit higher. Let me zoom in a little bit. Yeah, I think you can see it. So as you can see, I mean, you can't deny it. So it is playing a big role. And once again, starting with the fourth wave, testing or is a big resistance line. When we're below it, we fall down, we come up, again it is resistance, and then we are able to move above it. We have our first wave, we come down, the third low tests this line again, and the next one also. And now what I think will happen, and is very important, our correction below the daily exponential ribbon that we always have will find support on this yellow line. And as you can see, this line is around $9,500, $9,500. And this is exactly what I told you, that we will come down to 9.5K and we won't fill the gap around $8,500. And I tell you why, a lot of people will be thinking when we're down or when we're below $10,000, they will think, oh yeah, that's it. Now we're going to fill the gap around $8,500. All the videos will come out, and then shit, we missed the best entry point once again. And I know they missed that one. They missed that. Okay, thinking that we will fill the gap. And the problem is the majority always misses the correct points for a buy-in or to sell. That's it, and that is one of the reasons why the most people don't get rich. I mean, think about how many really rich people we have on our planet, because they make the right decisions. They have all the information that is important to have. Now, this is a big analysis, but I mean, I'm doing that on my own. Let's say they have a big group that is doing things like that, and maybe they know much more than I know. I'm sure they know much more than I know, and they always make the right decisions. But well, I'm trying to invest the time to find these points to buy in or to sell, and I think it is really working out so far, and I will find more and more recurring similarities, I'm sure of that. And right now it is very important to know where will be the bottom and where we will go to, and this line will lead us to the second wave. I'm very sure of that. And yeah, so that's it. And when we take out the Fibonacci retracement tool and go to the third test, what you can see is we came down inside of this yellow box. We're finding support on it, and I think that when we cross this main trend line, we will see the next drop coming down to the 50% level, finding support inside of this ribbon and trying to come up again, and then we will have to drop below this daily exponential ribbon with the full bodies. So the first drop, I think, will not be with the full bodies below this daily exponential ribbon, but the second drop, and then we find support on this yellow line. It makes so much sense to me after all I've seen. And yeah, so I think this is what will be happening in the next hours and days. Now, if you want to know when will the next drop start, I mean, right now, from this point on, we are nearly 2 days away from this main trend line, but it depends on this drops. I mean, as you can see, the lower we are, the closer we are to this main trend line. But let's say 2 to 3 days, something like that, and we will cross this line, and then I think we will find support, or what is more likely, we will drop to the 50% level down to these levels. Maybe it happens today, maybe it happens tomorrow, I don't know, but I'm sure it will come. And yeah, and then we will find support inside of this ribbon, and then we have our next big drop. Now, the question, what about the altcoins? I think when you buy in now, it is really, really not a mistake. Considering what will happen in the next 2 months, there will be 2 altcoin pumps, a little one and the big one. And the little one maybe already started or will start in the next days, but when we are close to the point where Bitcoin falls below this daily exponential ribbon, all right, and I will know when this happens. I mean, it is possible that it happens in this week. This is possible, but what I think is more likely is that we will fall inside of this ribbon and don't fall below this daily exponential ribbon when we have our first drop. And so this will be the beginning of the little pump, and then when we move above this daily exponential ribbon and everybody thinks, oh, now we find support, then this thing will crash down to this yellow line, and very close to the point where it starts to crash down, this will be the beginning of the real or the second altcoin pump, right? So this is something that always happened. We have a little pump and then we have the big pump. And if you're asking yourself, should I buy in now? You can buy in now. I mean, we have so good prices or entry points right now. I mean, let's take a look at CoinMarketCap. So we've been talking about Ethereum, $212. We've been talking about, I mean, look at Litecoin, $86. EOS, $4. Cardano, nearly 5 cents. This is amazing. Chainlink, $2. I mean, I think it was around $8, something like that. No, $4, all right? So you can easily make 100% on that one. And NEM, below 6 cents. This is amazing. This is amazing. And yeah, and there are a lot of other coins, basic attention, 20 cents. So easy gains to come in the next days. Easy gains. Nano, $1. This is a very, very good coin, in my opinion, compared to Bitcoin. And yeah, so it is no mistake. Neo, this one will also make really, really nice gains. I'm sure of that. It was around $200, now $10. Easy to make $30, $40, I think, for this one during the altcoin pump. And when we take a look at For example, ADA. I mean, what you can see is that it came down to this blue line that played a big role at the beginning of this year. It came down, it tested it. Now maybe it comes down again and tests this one. Maybe it falls a little bit lower, but like I said, when you imagine where it will be and where it was over $1 and it is now 5 cents. All right, so you're not doing any mistake to buy in right now. I think there will come a point where it will be a little bit cheaper. So this will be when we fall out of this channel, this rising channel that we're in right now. So I mean, something that could happen is when we fall out of this channel and we are inside of this daily exponential ribbon, then this could be the point where the altcoins fall down again and see another little correction, not big, a little correction. This could happen, and so you can wait for this point. And something else that is also likely is when we are really close, or let's say the next drop will be the drop below this daily exponential ribbon, then you will see the altcoins start suddenly to pump. All right, so they will make 10-20% in the next days, because this is something they always did when we're close to the point where we fall below this daily exponential ribbon. And I think that we fall below this daily exponential ribbon because the whales sell Bitcoin and go into the altcoins, because it is really crazy, very, very close to the day. So let's say 1 or 2 days before we fall below the daily exponential ribbon, the altcoins start to pump. All right, and when we see something like that, this could be a sign that we're very close to fall below the daily exponential ribbon. So that's it for today's video. Please join the Discord channel if you didn't yet, because we have so much knowledge inside of this inside of our community. Zach is doing an amazing job trying to bring us to a point where we have our own trading bot. Things like that are happening, so development, and I think right now it is very, very helpful to be inside of this community, and I hope to see you there. Have a nice day, and thank you for your attention. Please write in the comments what you think about this content. Give it a thumbs up when you like it, so that I know everything is okay with what I'm doing, and we will see us soon.